And first, I actually want to point out, so we're looking at about 65 miles southeast of South Point when we're talking about the eye of the storm. But we mentioned rainfall. We talked about the 12 inches of rain they saw in Waimea, and you can see these dark orange, yellow bands of rain for the outer bands of the storm. And we can see they're rapidly moving through Gila. We can see just hitting, and it's not really relenting one after the other in terms of rain. But we do have the latest update from the National Weather Service and National Hurricane Center. When it comes to Lala, they released it at 11 a.m. So these are some new updates that we have. What we've noticed is that Lala is starting to slow down in terms of that side motion, and it's turning northwest as it interacts with the Big Island. We're also seeing that it's starting to have those winds increase. We talked about those hurricane force winds making landfall closer to around 2 p.m., but we've already seen really the tropical storm force winds already across the Big Island. But another thing they really wanted to point out is that some erratic motion is likely, because as Lala makes landfall, starts to interact with the Big Island, especially with those tall sloping mountains, Mauna Kea, Mauna Loa, we can expect some changes because we can't exactly predict how exactly that's going to affect Lala overall. What we're looking at is that after it moves away from the Big Island, it's going to take more of that turn to the west, and then it'll start to pick up speed again. But it's really slowing as it kind of drags over the landmass right now. So that was their latest update there. They also mentioned that the hurricane force winds extend about 35 miles outward, and that's directly from the eye. But those tropical storm force winds, they extend about 175 miles outward. And we saw that kind of graphically when we looked at that yellow shape that passes through the islands to show the diameter and the span of those winds. So these are the biggest updates that we have now. Again, I'll show you with the track too what we're talking about in terms of the slowing down and then speeding up later. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that right now. Actually, here with Hurricane Lala, we can see that it's moving at only about 8 miles per hour. And in some of our updates only an hour or so ago, we were looking at 10 miles an hour. So we can see it doesn't seem like a lot, but it makes a bit of a difference when we're talking about a system like this and how it moves over, because we want it to move as fast as possible. But unfortunately, when we talk about interacting with the landmass, we're going to see a little bit of a slowdown there. Winds right now, we're seeing those sustained surface winds of 75 miles an hour, just enough to keep it in that hurricane threshold. We also are seeing gusts, though, up to 90 miles per hour. So even though 75 miles per hour is generally what we're seeing at times really strong winds, and those are going to be nearing the Big Island as well. And again, we talked about still the eye being about 65 miles southeast of South Point. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're seeing in terms of the track over the next few days and what we are expecting. So we see again Category 1 right now, and this is for the next 12 hours as it passes to the tip. So we can see it's shifted a bit to the south, still narrowly hitting the Big Island with the eye of the storm. It was shifted slightly up earlier, so we can see going to a bit to the south, which is something to note there. We want it to stay as far away as possible, but even though the eye is going to be staying to the south, that doesn't mean, again, we saw that span of the wind, so it doesn't mean we're out of the clear or not going to see impact.